One really cool thing coming up here in the War Within, completing quests will unlock transmog of all armor types across all your characters. This is an interesting one. I didn't realize this was going to happen, but we know the war bands are coming, account bound, everything for the most part. So it looks like when you complete a quest now, if it offers things like a leather item or a plate item, and you have to be playing on your, say you're playing your rogue and there's some plate boots that are supposed to be gotten from the quest, evidently you're going to get that transmog just by completing the quest for your plate wearing character. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. Yeah, thank you for the affiliate anniversary message, Tidewell. Appreciate that. Also, Season 4 is looking like it's going to be shorter than normal, boys. And there's been a couple hints at this so far, but Blizzard just keeps dropping more and more. And it has to do with how they're running this cadence of this season and the currency tracking that they're doing here. So first of all, when they first dropped the season and said, okay, these dungeons or these raids are going to be awakened 1 per week, that was a hint right there, because in Shadowlands we know we had to prolong the last season as long as possible because we had no more content to do. They were basically giving us an awakened or faded raid every 2 weeks. And then after 6 weeks total, they gave us all of them opened, right? Actually, they ran it through twice before they gave it to us all open. Now we've seen that we're getting 1 per week and then they're all going to open. Here's another thing. Sockets are going to be half priced. That's right. It's been found that sockets are now half price, so instead of costing you 6 of whatever the Eye of Awakened, or aspect tokens, sorry, it's going to cost you only 3. So another cut in the currency costs to try to get you to progress a little bit faster. But that's not all. Yesterday, Blizzard implemented a hotfix to basically cut the amount of flight stones you need in half as well for upgrades. So they're reducing the cost of a lot of things to try to do what? To try to get us to gear out and go big dick quicker. That's the only thing. That's the only reason. And why would they do that? Because this season is in fact going to be a short one, boys. It's going to be shorter, and that's because we got pre-patch coming quicker than we think. We got the expansion coming quicker than we think. So enjoy the season for what it is, because I think it's going to be much shorter than we've had in the past. Well, it's for the bullion items. Well, I mean, everything is basically a bullion item at this point. All the upgrades, all your tier, all the trinkets, the weapon upgrades for your legendaries. Making things cheaper in terms of flight stones for bullions is a big deal. It's going to gear you out much quicker. You're going to get best in slot much quicker. So yes, you're right. In terms of upgrading your gear, it's still very much the same. But in terms of bullion cost with flight stones, much less, which leaves you with more flight stones to upgrade your gear if you think about it. So again, they both kind of play off each other, and everything's just going to happen quicker. Trust me, Blizzard wanted to prolong the season. They could make things more expensive, but they're doing the very much the opposite, which means this season could be shorter than we've ever seen. There is an issue. Yes, we talked about it just as I was going live. I saw people dropping comments about it. When it comes to legendary upgrades, it's currently stuck at 4 of 15 awakened, it looks like. So you can go ahead and use your 2 bullions and your flight stones to buy the item needed to change basically your legendary into the new season and upgrade it. But you will only be able to push it to 4 of 14 awakened. The issue is Blizzard knows that there's a problem with this, but they said it's going to take some time to fix, which kind of sucks if we're dealing with a shorter season here. How long are we going to be stuck with a weapon, essentially your most important piece of armor, stuck at a lower upgrade level? I mean, the good thing is legendaries have a high item level to begin with, but that does kind of stink, and I'm wondering how long this is going to take. But yeah, 4 of 14, your game is not bugged if it's doing it. It's everybody. Nobody can really go past that right now. So, we'll see how long this takes to get fixed. Blizzard comments on add-on throttling in the patch. So it looks like recently Blizzard did some kind of hotfix to throttle the amount of text that add-ons can pump out through your character. So, some people have the call-outs. We see them in Raid all the time where an add-on calls out something that's happening to its specific tune, and it calls it out through a yell or a say through their character. Well, Blizzard wanted to limit the amount of characters that come out from that. I didn't realize this, but I guess there's a bunch of RP add-ons that automatically say things, and this thing that Blizzard implemented cut off that stuff early. So, like, people were only getting half text or whatever. Basically, the people of Moonguard were very upset by this. The foreplay and the things that were happening in Lion's Pride Inn were being cut in half, and people love their foreplay. So Blizzard is going to retroactively change this. They promise they're going to get rid of these message limits. They realize that it affected the RP-ness of the game, and they're going to go ahead and get that fixed. Fisted, I say. Freudian slip. What am I going to say? I'm talking about Moonguard. Especially since, people are at Flightstone cap to dump into Legendary a problem. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is a problem, most definitely. The Flightstone thing, I think it's good. It's good. It's going to help out, like I said, everyone gear out faster. We have unused recolors showing up in the Mists of Pandaria. It'll be obtainable in the new time running event. Yeah, so if you haven't seen some of these are recolors that were originally put into the game, but were never used. So we're getting a bunch of recolors from the raid gear here, so pretty cool stuff. Honestly, a lot of the Mists of Pandaria gear I personally like a lot. It's got that, the Pandaria slash very much Void Old God vibes going on here. So a lot of these cool looking recolors are showing up in the time running event. And remember, your transmogs from this event will carry over into the real game. So that's really, really cool. Once we get all this stuff, you'll be able to use it on your current characters. That's probably one of the coolest things to come out of this. I don't give a shit about alts, but damn it, transmog hunting through this thing, that might be worth it. And last but not least, we got some lore here, boys. Xal'atath and the Scaradren. Yes, the Harbinger corrupts dwarves. So it looks like we're going to be dealing with some corrupted Earthen. These very voidy looking Earthen. We saw them in the customization when we first got Earthen customizations. I kept seeing these void looking Earthen and I'm like, what the hell is this? Well, now we know. These are corrupted Earthen from Xal'atath. So Xal'atath found out that these Earthens are, dealing with the fact that they have broken machinery, right? And the Earthen, what they do basically is they got to use this machinery to archive their memories and recharge. So when the machinery is broken, they end up going into like a stasis, right? Where they're in hibernation. They can't freaking do anything until this machinery is fixed. Well, enter Xal'atath. She approached the High Speaker of the Ringing Deeps and offered them an artifact that would help repair their awakening machine and allow the Earthen to be awoken once again. But Xal'atath, that cunning, very hot looking elf, had something else up her sleeve. She spoke to this High Speaker about not only bringing the machine back, but in fact perfecting it rather than repairing it and making the Earthen improved. Yes, so in his desperation, he agreed to work with Xal'atath to repair the machine, and this improved version of the Earthen became the Scaradren, which were these void Earthen that were very much obedient to her. Now, in the past, it turns out, it seems like Xal'atath has had an affiliation for dwarves. She actually has done this before. It's not the first time. She did it with the Dark Iron Dwarves. Yeah, so the Dark Iron Dwarves followed the Sorceress Queen, back when there was Modgud. She was their leader during the War of the Three Hammers. Yes, she led the army against the stronghold of Grim Batol, and she was possessed by the dagger Xal'atath. Yeah, we happen to know what that was. At the time, under the dagger's influence, she performed a powerful dark magic that brought the shadows of Grim Batol to life. Yes, like Xal'atath's previous wielders, Modgud was abandoned by the dagger in the hour of need and slain. Yes, Xal'atath happens to do that a lot. She abandons you when you need her most and moves on to the next person. However, some of the Dark Iron Dwarves escaped into Grim Batol, which had been deserted by its previous inhabitants, and over time, some of them became cursed Iron Dwarves known as the Scaradren. Yes, so Xal'atath doing her thing. We already know that she's manipulating a lot of people on the side. She's got all of the Nerubians on her side, and now evidently a whole bunch of Earthen. Very interesting stuff. I want to see where this lore goes. We're getting the Harbinger questline in 10.2.7, which will be basically the beginning of her storyline leading into the War Within.